Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome once again to Bhagavad Gita discussions. This is program number 24, in which we will be concluding chapter 18 of Bhagavad Gita. We have reached verse 30, and today we'll be moving forward from there. Remember, this program is a production of the International Gita Forum Caribbean and IETV. As we reach this, what would be the final program in terms of the 18 chapters, I want to personally and on behalf of IETV and International Gita Forum to thank Pandit Vickramaditya Maharaj very much for taking the time, for making the resources available from his own studies, and also his own stock of books and whatever else, and experience, to share it with us, your viewers, and also all of us throughout this 18 program. Remember again, at no point in this 18 chapter series that we've done, that's now reached chapter 24, are we saying to anyone that whatever is being said here is the only right perspective. A perspective is a perspective. But we have had tremendous feedback, I would say not most, but all of it positive in terms of people's interaction with the Bhagavad Gita discussions. We will be making the entire series available, and we'll again be airing it on IETV moving forward. At this time, we are coming to the end of chapter 18 as we approach Sri Krishna Janamashmi in 2023. This series will complete at this point. We want to make this offering to all of you, Hindus and non-Hindus alike, who have an interest in Bhagavad Gita and its teachings of Hinduism. And again, as we now hand over to Pandit Vickramaditya Maharaj on behalf of the International Gita Forum Caribbean and IETV, we again salute Pandit Vickramaditya ji for the effort he has made in moving this program forward. We now hand over to him as we begin chapter 18, verse 31. Panditji.
Yaya dharma adharma cha karya cha karyameva cha ayatavat prajanati buddhisa partha rajasi. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, that intellect which causes a distortion in the mind between dharma and adharma, what should be done, what should not be done, that is said to be rajasic. Adharma dharma miti ya manyate tamasabrita saravartan viparitascha buddhisa partha tamasi. That which is enveloped in darkness, which takes something that is wrong and tries to justify it by making it right, that type of intellect, Arjun, is tamasic. Dritaya yaya dharyate mana pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhicharinya dritisa partha satvaki. That firmness which exists in the individual, which comes from the practice of yoga, the mind, the prana, the senses, that firmness is said to be sattvic. Yaya tu dharma kamartan dritaya dharyate arjuna prasangena palakangshi sorry dritisa partha rajasi. You know, there is a verse in the Hanuman Chalisa that says that if you do the Hanuman Chalisa so much time, you'll get the 4 fruits of life: righteousness, wealth, desire, salvation. The Gita says holding on to that is rajasic, because the 4 fruits of life is going to come to everybody whether they want it or not. When the time is right, it's going to come. When there is a need for someone to be righteous, they will be righteous. When there's a chance for you to be wealthy, you will be wealthy. There's a time when your desires are going to be fulfilled. And in the event, if you go back to chapter 9 in the Bhagavad Gita, Where Lord Krishna says at the end of every cycle, all life merge into me. And at the beginning of a new cycle, they come back into this universe again and again. And they will continuously come and go until they free themselves from attachment. But in the meantime, that type of attachment which holds on to the four fruits of life, such type of firmness is said to be Rajasic. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishradam madamevacha na vimunchati durameda jitisaparta tamasi. When a foolish individual cannot give up sleep, fear, grief, that firmness is said to be tamasic. Sukam tvedanim trividam shanume bharatarshava abhyasa dramate yatra dukantam cha nigacchati. Hear from me about the three types of happiness, Arjuna. That type of happiness where the human being comes to rejoice by long practice and he reaches the end of his sorrow. Yatatagre vipameva parinameva mritopanam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. That which appears to be like poison in the beginning, but in the end it turns out to be nectar. Thus it's said to be sattvic. And I'll give you something to try. Talk to your Pandit and ask him to show you how to sit in the lotus posture. And if you have never sat in the lotus posture, the first day you do it will cause you some more pain. But after constant practice, in the end, it becomes easy and normal. So that is what Lord Krishna is saying. It might be poisonous in the beginning, but in the end, it is sattvic. Because it stems from self-realization. Vishayendriyana sanayoga tadagre mrita upamam pariname vipameva tatsukam rajasam smritam. That happiness which comes from the contact of the senses, in the beginning it is like nectar, but in the end it is poisonous. It must end in pain and suffering. That is called Rajasic. Yadagre chanubande cha sukama mohanamatmana nirdalasya pramadotham tatama samudahritam. That happiness which you delude yourself in the beginning, you delude yourself in the end. Such type of happiness is said to be tamasic. Na tadasti pratibhyam va vidivedeshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jai muktam yadebe syatri birgunai. There is no being in this earth, nor in the heavenly planes amongst the devatas, that is totally free from the gunas, which is born of Prakriti. None is free from that. There is no exemption. I remember reading in the Ramayana when the discussion took place between Sati and Lord Shiva. And Sati insisted on certain things and he allowed her to do what she wanted. And he turned around to himself and he says, Hari Maya Balajana Jiya. So powerful is this Maya of Bhagavan Sri Ram that none is exempt from it. Brahmana Kshatriya Vishyam Shudranam Cha Parantapa Karamani Prabhibhaktani Swabhava Prabhuve Gunai. When we go back to chapter 4 in the Gita, when Lord Krishna says that the human being in 4 groups, I have created them with different responsibilities. The duty of the Brahmin, the Kshatri, the Vaishya, the Shudra, it is all distributed by me because of the gunas, which is born of their own nature. Everyone has a responsibility to do a job. We have to work together to get this thing to work. You ever drive a car and you shut down somewhere?
Yeah.
You ever push it and drive it at the same time?
No.
Somebody had to push it for you.
Correct.
Right. So if he didn't help you, you couldn't help yourself. And it's the same thing with life. We are all different, but we could all work for the same common goal. Shammo damastapa shaucham kshantira rajamivacha jnanam avijnanam trikyam brahmakarma swabhavajam. Serenity, self-restraint, purity, forgiveness, uprightness, knowledge, realization. These are the duties of the religious leaders. A religious leader has to be very knowledgeable with the scriptures. Like most of the other faiths in the world, they have one scripture to contend with. One. We have 4 Vedas, 112 Upanishads, 18 Puranas, 18 Upapuranas, Itihas, Granth. You have to be knowledgeable in all. I always use this term, selective smart. You cannot be selective smart because listen, I may not like the Samba Puran. Don't get me wrong, I may not like it. I may never even see a Samba Puran. But you know, as fate would have it, I have a chela who have a Samba Puran and he read it. So when he questions me on it, what am I going to tell him? That book ain't good. It doesn't work so. So he says, they have to be knowledgeable. Knowledgeable in what? In a hereafter also. Somebody comes and tells me, my parent died. What is going to happen to them? You know what I mean? I have to have some knowledge about it. Shauryam tejo dritirijaksham yuddha chapa palayanam danamishwaradabhavashta kshatram karma swabhavajam. To be firm, to be resourceful, to be a hero, never running from the battlefield. These are the duties of one who is born of the Kshatriya race. Krishi gaurakshyava nijyam vaishya karama swabhavajam paricharayatmakam karama shudrasyapi swabhavajam. To do agriculture, to rear cows, and to trade is the duty of the Vaishya. That is born of their own nature. The nature of the Shudra is to be one who renders service. And do not misinterpret, rendering service is not free. There's a misconception that people have. No, everybody has a role to play. And if we all play our part well, we all benefit. I'll give you a little story I was told in Buddhism. This guy wanted to commit suicide. So he going in the forest to kill himself. So he saw an abandoned building and he went in. And he saw a man sat down there, like he dead. So he's watching this man, The man drunk, you know. He's sleeping. So when the man wake up, the man shocked, he sees somebody in front of him. So the fella, Guruji, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. You see what this fella is an idiot. He said, go, okay, go and beg. So every day the fella going to beg and he bring in for the Guru. And he having a ball. Time come to die now. The Chela, they come for the Chela, Jamraj. He said, let me go, time to go. He said, I'm not going, my Guru ain't going. He said, who's your Guru? He said, the fellow who was, he said, that fellow is not a pundit, boy, this fellow is a crazy. He's not a pundit. He said, I'm not going without he. He saved me from committing suicide. He said, well, the only way he going, he had to hold your 2 ankles when you're going up, and he go up with you. So while they were going up, the Guru so happy, he wanted to sing a Biraha. You know how they sing Biraha, right? You don't know?
No, really.
When you're singing Biraha, you have to hold your 2 ears.
Oh, I didn't know.
So he let go the 2 ankles to hold the ears. But it's not for you. You have to deserve it. And this is the most interesting verse when Lord Krishna says, Swe swe karamanya bherata sansiddham labate nara swakarama nirata siddhim yata vindati yatachrinu. The only way this is going to work is if we do our duty. And if we do our duty and cooperate with each other, all of us could benefit from it. Do your duty. Leave my duty for me. I cannot fix a car. I will not play fast. If you go outside there and your car is started and I tell you, pull the bonnet and give me a spanner, and you really pull the bonnet and give me a spanner, Maniedeo, I have a right to mash up your engine for you. Because you put your car in the hands of a man who knows nothing about it.
Yeah.
And this is the difference. You might be a good pundit, you might be a good teacher, you might be a good administrator, but you are not a mechanic. If you go home and you open your gate and the gate break down, you might be all the good things, but you are not a welder. So get the person who is good at his duty, and all you work together for the betterment of everybody. That is what Sanatan Dharma is about. Sanatan Dharma is not about you take my job and I take your job. Because there's a beautiful word coming up in the next verse when he says, Yata prabritirra bhutanam yena saravamidam tatam swakarama tabya artha siddhim vindati yamanava. Swadharam. Swadharam means perform your duty. Perform your duty. And we will all evolve. When people go through this evolution, we all change, we all grow, we all become better. But perform your duty, and performing your duty gives you perfection. Shreyan swadharama vigunaha paramadharamatvanushtitam swabhavaniyatam karama kurvanapnoti kilabisham. It's better you perform your own dharma. Even though you may think it is imperfect, it is better than somebody else's own. You know how many people have so-called changed their religion? And when somebody dies, a close relative of theirs, they call the Pandit to see if he dead in Panchak. I say, but you don't believe in Panchak, but they still believe five of them go dead. You understand? So you're in that religion, but you have fear if something happened in this one. This is what the Gita says. Better your own duty, even though it's imperfect, than the duty of someone else well performed. Because when you perform your duty, you incur no sin. Sahajam karama kaunteya sadosho mapiyanatyaji sarvaram bahi doshena dhumenagnena abritaha. Do not abandon the duty for which you are born. Now, this is one of the controversies. Where I could be born as a Pandit. Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things that goes into making it. Birth is just one step. Initiation is a second step. There are different stages to go through to reach where I reach, or to reach where you reach. It's not that I teach you to read Ramayana and you feel you know 4 verses in Ramayana that could make you a Pandit. No, it doesn't work that way. It says, do not abandon your duty. Even though it is attended with evil, don't fall victim to that. Asakta bodhisarvatra jitayatma vikasmriha naisha karama siddha paramam sanyatni digachati. Don't let your mind and senses be attached to anything in this world, Arjun. You have to learn to subdue yourself. And when you subdue yourself, through the right practice of renunciation, you will attain the supreme state. This is not for you. This is not for me. Go back to chapter 9. Mami parvyapashritya ye yapis yu papa yonaya. Striya Vaisha tata shudraste yapi yan param gatim. This is for everybody, even those who are born in sin. This is for everybody to realize the supreme. Make the effort. Siddhima prapti yata brahma tatapnoti nibodami samasi naiva kaunteya nishtagyanasya vapara. Learn from me, Arjun, that reaching such stage of perfection, Brahman, you reach it with knowledge. Buddhaya vishuddhaya yukto dhritayatmanam niyamyacha shabdadin vishaya tyakya ragadvesho vyavastyacha. Pure understanding is what is needed. Firmness is also needed. He says, turn away from this material world, Arjun. This material world, nothing is going to change in it. It's always going to be birth. It's always going to be pain. It's always going to be suffering. It was always so since it was created. It never got better. Vivatta se vilagavashi yatava kaya manasa dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashritaha. Dwell or live in solitude. Eat very little. Control the speech, the body, the mind. Engage yourself. Try to meditate. Try to concentrate. And by doing these things, ahankaram balamadarapam kamamakrodam padigriham vimuchya nirmamo shanto brahmabhutaya kalapati. Give up this ego. Give up violence. Give up arrogance. Give up property. You're not going to carry it when you die. Free yourself from I and mine and become one with Brahman. When we used to go and cut grass long time, always 4 or 5 a week. So we want to make 2 trips and 3 trips. So you cut a real bundle of grass, and 3 fellas had to help you lift it up. You can't put it on your head because you feel your head going on in your belly. You rest it on the back of your neck. And when you're coming up the road, that 2 red ants decide to bite you right here. You can't let go the grass. So you had to study, take your bite and go home. What happened to you the day when you alone go to cut grass now? Who you depending on? Nobody. Who cut the grass? You. Alone. Who tie it? You. Alone. Who have to pick it up? You. Alone. Who have to carry it? You. Alone. Go back to the rhyme of the ancient mariner. Alone, alone on a wide, wide sea. That is how we're going to end up. So you see, when it says live in solitude, it didn't mean leave your house and go up in the northern range and live in it. It doesn't mean, I don't know where people believe that that is where the scriptures mean. It never meant that. It means that you live in the home, but you are not concerned with what is going on there. Everybody have the responsibility. You renounce it out now. You give it up. Look, you are now qualified. You are on the verge of qualification. The responsibilities are yours now. Go ahead. Ask me for advice if you need it. But if you don't need it, go ahead. If I think you're making a mistake, I will correct you. You give up the responsibilities. And that is what is meant by being in solitude. By doing that, Brahmabhota prasanayatma nasochati nakanchati samasarabeshu bhuteshu madabhaktim labate param. Becoming Brahman, peaceful in mind, one does not grieve, nor does he desire. He is the same to all beings. Such an individual gets supreme devotion to me, Arjun. Bhaktya mama bijanati yavana yashtasmi tattvata tato man tattvato gyatva bishate tadanantaram. And when you are devoted to me, you will know me in truth. You will know what am I. You will know who am I. And having known me as such, you enter into me. Sarvakaramanya vasadda kuravanya Kuravanno madhya praya mad prasadatma vapnoti shashvatam padam abhyayam. Continually, Arjun, continuously, you do this and you do it. You continue doing it all the time. That is what Shibari did. Whatever advice was given to her, she did it every day, consistently, until it materialized. And the same way, that Supreme Brahman is going to materialize to us. Chetasa sarvakaramani mai sanyasya matpara buddhi yogam upasritya machachita satatam bhava. Mentally resign everything to me. I am the highest goal. I am the one, Arjun. Fix your mind upon me. Machachit sarvaduragani matprasadat tadichyati atatitva mahankaran nashochati nikangshati. Fix your mind upon me. Through my grace, you will overcome all obstacles and you will not perish, Arjun. Yadahankaramashritya nasoti iti amanyasi mitayaisha vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyokshati. But if you are filled with this ego in you, Arjun, I will not fight. I will not fight. I have good news for you, Arjun. You have no say in that. Your nature will make you fight. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibadya swena karamana karatum nechasi yanamoha karishya vasayopitat. Bounded by your own karma, which is born of your nature, Arjun. That which you do not want to do, I am telling you today, Arjun, you shall do it because you are helpless when it comes to nature, prakriti. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshardun tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantarodhani mayaya. For the Lord dwells in the heart of each and every one, Arjun. And it is by his maya that we all revolve as if we are puppets on a string, or if we are mounted on a machine, like on a conveyor belt that just keeps going on and on and on, non-stop. Tvameva sharanam agaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat paramashantim sthanam apras yasi shashwatam. Seek refuge in him alone, Arjun, in your heart. Surrender to me in your heart. This is the first time Lord Krishna is saying in the Gita, actually telling Arjun, surrender. Where am I? Surrender to me where? In your heart, surrender to me, Arjun. This is the supreme peace. This is the eternal abode. And you will get it through my kripa, my grace.
This is a very important verse.
We'll do it over.
We'll do it over. But first, let's take our break. And then we shall continue. Do stay with us. Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome back. We are at verse 62 on chapter 18. Panditji.
Tvameva sharanamagaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat paramashantim sthanam aprasyasi shashwatam. Now here, Lord Krishna now drives his hammer into Arjun by saying to him, seek refuge in me. Turn to me, Arjun. I am in your heart, O Bharat. Through my grace, you will gain the supreme peace and the eternal abode. That is where I am. Turn inwardly towards me. Etite jnanamakyatam gohyada gohyataram maya vrimishte tadasheshena yatre chasiyatata kuru. This wisdom, most profound, has been declared by me to you, Arjun. Reflect upon it. How do you reflect on something? You have to go inside to reflect, you know. You reflect it in your heart, in your mind, in your conscience, whatever you want. But whatever reflection, it has to be done on the inside of the individual. And the most profound advice he has given to Arjun. You now act as you choose.
Act as you choose.
You choose. But 3 verses ago, he says, you cannot act as you choose because you are helpless because of my prakriti.
Yeah.
If I don't want it to happen, it cannot happen. So he's taken away that responsibility from himself. Why would Lord Krishna do that? He doesn't want it to show in history, like now with crazy people living in the world, that we could turn around and say, it's Krishna who make Arjun do that.
Yeah.
So he took himself out of it.
It's your choice.
Now the choice is yours. I am not responsible. But he says, reflect in yourself first. Sarva gohyattamam bhoya shanume paramam vachaha eshtasi me dridamiti tato vakshyami te hitam. Listen again, Arjun, to my supreme word, the profoundest of all. You are very beloved of me. You are very steadfast in your heart. I have only told you what is good for you. Manmana bhavamada bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mahamavaishati satyamati pratijano priyosime. Fix your mind upon me. Be devoted to me. Make self-sacrifices unto me. Bow before me. You shall come to me, Arjun. This is my pledge to you. This is my promise to you. Sarvadharma parit. You say this verse, man. Come on. Come on.
Sarvadharman paritajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. Now you say it. for completeness, all the verses of
Sarva dharma parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami maashutaha. Renounce all dharma to me. Take refuge in me, Arjun. I shall liberate you. Do not grieve. That is my responsibility. And that is what a lot of people cannot understand. We could only do so much in this world. The Lord has to have an input in our life. And the input he is having is the assurance he has given to Arjun. Surrender to me and I will take care of you. That is my advice to all individuals. We are dealing with people every day who are sick with all type of sickness, all type of diseases, with death, everything. And I say to them, surrender to Lord Krishna. Let him become part of the decision making in your life. Idam te nata paskaya na bhaktyaya kadachana na cha shoshave vacham na cha mamsho bhayasu yati. This has never been spoken before. Do not discuss this with anybody who does not have the ability to do the sacrifice, to do the penance. Do not discuss this with someone who is not devoted. Do not discuss this with one who is not prepared to walk the walk. And do not discuss it with someone who ill speaks me. So this verse contradicts what people have been saying, that you shouldn't read the Gita in public, you shouldn't read the Gita for this, you shouldn't read the Gita for that. No, it says do not read it for people who do not believe in it.
Yeah.
Then he goes on to say, Ya idam paramam guhyam madabhakteshva vidhasasi bhaktim mayi paramakritva mami vaishyata sanshayah. He who has that supreme devotion to me and will teach this philosophy to my devotees, such a person will come to me. How are you going to teach the Gita to people if you're not going to read it? Somebody had to come up with a new plan that I never hear about yet. So he makes room for it. He makes room for those who listen to it, for those who want to practice it, those who want to read it, and those who want to teach it. Combine these four forces together and see what you get. The perfect human being. Nacha tasman manushyeshu kakshina me priyakrittama bhavita nacha me tasma danya priyo tado bhuvi. Nor is there anyone in this world who is dearer to me, who has rendered more service to me, nor shall there ever be one dearer to me than one who reads and teaches the Gita to my devotees. Adeshyate chaya imam dharyam samvada bhavayo jnana yagyena tehana mishtasyamiti memati. He who will study this great discourse of you and I, Arjun, such a person has worshipped me through Jnana Yoga. So the Gita itself is saying that the first teachings of the Gita comes almost at the end of the Gita. The Gita is the embodiment of Jnana, knowledge. Knowledge of what? That is what you define now in the discourse. Knowledge of man's quest to find God, knowledge of the Supreme Lord, knowledge of how to find God. All those things will come after. But then, most importantly, Sharavanaya sunyashta shrinuyadapi yanonara sopi mukta shubhalokan prapnoyat punya karmanam. Even if you don't want to study the Gita and you just want to listen to it, and you want to listen to it, you must have faith if you listen to it. Free yourself from all this foolishness that is going on where people have who religion better than who and who God bigger than who. Hey, I don't have time for that. Sorry. Listen to it. You will be liberated from evil. You will attain auspiciousness and you will attain the regions of the righteous. That is where you are going, just by listening. And I have said this many times. When you read scriptures, you are bound to make mistakes. When you listen to it, you make no mistake. So it's better to listen than to read. Kachide chatyutam partha tvayekagrena chetasa kachida dhyana sanamoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Now, Arjun had asked 18 questions in the Gita. Lord Krishna gave 18 answers. But the truth is, the Gita have 19 questions. And one question was asked by Lord Krishna himself. When he turns to Arjun now and says, whatever I have said to you today, Arjun, have you listened to what I was saying? This delusion and this ignorance that you had, is it destroyed? Now, that is the beauty about Bhagavan. Bhagavan now takes the devotee and makes him Bhagavan. He says, Arjun, you is now my God. You answer my question now. And Arjun, you could imagine what is going on in the mind of Arjun on this battlefield when this verse just flies out from him. Nashtamoho smritiralabda tat prasadan mayachyuta stitasmi gatasanadeha karishye vachanam tava. My delusion is destroyed, O Lord. I have regained my memory through your grace. You see the beauty about it? Arjun says, yes, I regain my composure, but it's all because of you. You understand? That is humility. That is what humility is. That you cannot take away what somebody has imparted to you. I am now firm. I am free from doubt. And I will act according to your word, because I believe what you have said. Sanjaya now says to Dhritarashtra, Ityaham vasudevasya partasya cha mahatmana sambadhi mama shrocham madhubutam roma harshanam. I have heard this wonderful discourse between Vasudeva and Partha, causing the hair on my body to stand. Vyasa prasadatyuta meta guhyattamam param yoga yogeshwara Krishna sakshat katyata swayam. Through the grace of Vyasa, again humility. Sanjay, I say, because of my Guru Vyasa, I got this. You cannot, you see, we go back to the Guru. The Guru is the most important figure in this. He goes back to his Guru. Because of my Guru, I got this opportunity to witness this direct. The Lord himself declaring it. Rajana sansmritya sansmritya samvami mamadbhutam kesharjano punyam hrishyamicha muha muha. O King, as I recall again and again this wonderful dialogue between Keshav and Arjun, I rejoice again and again. Tatcha sansmritya rupamadhyadbhutam hari vismayohi maharajan hrishyami cha punaha punaha. As often as I recall this wonderful dialogue of Hari, he now sees Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Great is my astonishment. I am so surprised. But the more I am surprised is the more I rejoice again and again. Yatra yogeshwara Krishno yatya partho dharurdhara tatra shri vijayo bhutir drivo nitir matir mama. He says, wherever there is Lord Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, wherever there is Partha, Arjun, the wielder of the bow, there are always prosperity, victory, expansion, and sound policy. Such is my conviction. These are the words of Sanjaya saying to the blind king, this is what I know going to happen. Iti Shri Mahabharati Shat Sahasrayanam Sanhitayam Vaishyasikyanam Bhisha Paravani Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastri Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambadi Moksha Sanyas Yognam Ashtadasho Adhyaya.
Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahm, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 18th chapter. entitled The Yoga of Liberation Through the Path of Knowledge and Self-Surrender.
Bolo Shri Govinda Bhagavan Ki Jai. Devotees, this has been our undertaking to complete the Gita. We still have not completed it because we only did 18 chapters. There's one more chapter to go, which is the greatness of the Gita. Now we could talk a little bit about that because there are many versions of the Mahatma of the Gita. The real Mahatma has 88 verses in it. That we are doing in print right now. We are printing it. The one that exists in the Gita is about 24, 26 verses. Different Gitas have, Swami Shivananda has 22, Chidbhavananda has I think 24. Different Gitas have, so we'll go with the one that exists in this form, which is I think 24, 25 verses. And we'll complete that, and then we would have completed the entire Gita from beginning to end. I think it will be made available to people if they want it.
And we will continue airing on IETV.
We will air it as usual, but I mean, if people want a personal copy, you contact the studio, they will tell you what to do and how to do it and what you supply and what the cost is going to be, because there must be a cost to put it together. And you should have it in your possession if you want it. Hey, I am looking for 2 or 3 copies myself to give out as gifts. Panditji?
Thank you very much, Pandit Vikramji. To all our viewers, as you wish.
Never tell a man thank you when you do this duty. That's your duty. This is our responsibility.
In the way of the world.
Forget the way of the world. We are not concerned about that. We are concerned about betterment of humanity.
And in that vein, we have attempted to the best of our ability to create this series. And as we conclude on this episode, we will pray that the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Krishna be with all of us. And as we complete these chapters, we will just have the Bhagavad Gita played in song as we conclude. Remember, our final episode will be the Gita Mahatma, which will be recorded and aired after this. We thank you to all our sponsors who have been very kind in order to provide the necessary funding to create the series. We want to say many thanks to Pandit Vikram. He said, don't say thanks, but on behalf of the International Gita Forum, on behalf of IETV, we really must appreciate the effort he has made and the research he has done in presenting various chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We've had questions throughout the series, and as we indicated, there were some who were not in full agreement or total agreement with some of the perspectives placed. That is acceptable in Hinduism. Every person has their perspective. We are not saying that whatever is said here in this series is to be taken in absolute truth. If you have a different view, then so be it. If you have any question, remember Pandit Vikram is available at the phone number. Firstly, if you want to do, yes, we can reach him at 652-1043 for developing your knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. And if you have any questions, you can reach the station at 784-9880. As we conclude, I'll just ask Pandit Vikram for his concluding comments, and then we will complete the series. Panditji, as you wish.
We live in terrible times. Real times. Every day we are seeing a different disaster, a different home that is destroyed. We have to find some strength to help us cope with this. And I honestly believe the Bhagavad Gita is that help. I honestly believe that. It has helped me throughout. It has helped my family throughout. I had a class with a few students. They all believe in the Gita too. They all take time off and read very little every day. They try to read it. We need that help and strength and support, because nothing may happen to us, but it could happen to somebody close to us. And we'll need to be there to give them that support and that strength. And I honestly believe that comes from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So my advice to you, we still have copies available. If you want, please call the studio. They will make the arrangement for you to get this copy. And if you have questions, again, you could call me at 652-1043, or you could call me on my toll-free number, 1-800-PUNDIT. And if you call that number and I don't answer the phone, it means your toll ain't working. That's my happy part of it.
Okay.
It's really 652-1043. And Panditji, I need to say, well, I don't believe in thanks. People who know me, I do ever say thank you and please. Those are things don't mean nothing to me. But I'd like to thank the station for giving me the opportunity to give my views on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is an indebtedness that it will go a long way down the road.
Thank you very much again, and we look forward to further discussions with Pandit Vikram as we continue developing programming going forward. As we end this series, we pray that Shri Krishna blessings be with us all and with you. Jai Shri Krishna.
जय भगवद गीते, जय जय भगवद गीते, हरिः कमल विहारिणी, हरिः कमल विहारिणी, सुंदर सुपुनीते, जय जय भगवद गीते, सुमर्म प्रकाशिनी, कामासक्ति हरा, कामासक्ति हरा, तत्त्वज्ञान विकाशिनी, तत्त्वज्ञान विकाशिनी, विद्या ब्रह्म परा, जय जय भगवद गीते, निश्चल भक्ति विधायिनी, निर्मल मलहारी, निर्मल मलहारी, शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी, शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी, सब विधि सुखकारी।